So food is the basic necessity of life. It nourishes our soul. It helps us grow. It is good for our well-being. And that's why it sits on the bottom of the pyramid of many hierarchies. And one such is Maslow's hierarchy here, that we have as the basic need as food. So quickly tell me, how many tons of food do we consume every day? Any guesses? So we consume around 5,000 tons of food every day, every minute. Now, this is the most fun part, and this is where the fun begins. For this, I want to thank the DTC members who contributed to my theme. 90% of the work you guys did, and now 10% is mine. The cuisines that are being selected are exotic, unique, meticulous, intelligent, and empathy. The empathy is the one that struck my heart because when I messaged you guys, what is the cuisine? None of you were like, oh, what's his message? Let's dump something, let's grab something. But no, all of you have finely curated the cuisine, and I must tell you, it's challenging. So guys, the rest members, what you have to do is you need to guess what dish is it, name it, its origin, and the main ingredients. So for heads up, the first dish is pretty easy, and I'm sure most of you have tasted it. It's and probably the most favorite dish for all of us. So let's see what is it. Okay? Yes. Yes. So a taste that is worth 1,000 words. That's what I typed it. Okay. It's biryani. Its origin is Persia. Now I've started as most popular South Asian dish. The main ingredients: rice, meat, onions. And we have around 35 varieties. Quickly, 5 varieties of biryani. Come on.
Dum biryani.
Okay, dum biryani. Next. Yes. Next. Yes, ambur. Then fourth. Come on. Yes. Then fifth. Okay. Okay, guys. Now this is how you have to do. Okay. I want to tell you, be mindful while guessing the dish because it comes from our members' native places. Okay. So what you have to do? You need to guess what dish is it, name it, origin, and as well as the main ingredients. Also, I want to tell you there are 10 dishes. So the first 5 will be in the starter segment, and the last 5 will be in your dessert segment. I also forgot to mention that this entire meeting is presented to you as a 4-course main menu. So we have the starters, the salad segment, the main course, and wrapping it up with the dessert segment. So the salad segment is the speech marathon, where we're going to have 8 amazing speakers, and followed by the main course, that is nothing but the panel evaluation and general evaluation. So come on guys, be very quick. We are in the starter segment. The next. Guess the dish. If you cannot, the main ingredients. Come on quickly. Just rough guesses, come on. Huh?
Beetroot.
Yes, this is the main ingredient. I tell you, don't take our fellow members lightly because each dishes are very challenging. And if you all accurately guess what dish is it, dear President, we are going to be having the cruise for sure.
Origin is Turkish.
No, wrong. Come on.
Persian.
No.
Egyptian.
No. Okay. Yeah. Time's up. No. Okay, the dish is named, it's the Ukraine, sorry. Yeah, the dish is named borscht. Okay, it is a Ukrainian dish. And what does it have? It has definitely the beetroot, the beef, onions, carrot, potatoes, toppled up with sour cream, and it's a great recipe for a winter day. So we need to wait 6 months to try this, I think. Next, come on. Come on, guess. At least guess the main ingredients. What do you see? Huh?
Rice and olives.
No. Rice, there is no ounce of rice. Come on. At least you should know your members where they are from. Let's see.
Olives.
Uh-huh. Yeah, olives are for garnishing, but okay. The main dish, what is it? It is bacalhau bra. It comes from Portuguese. And what does it consist of? Shreds of cod, onions, thinly chopped fried potatoes, all bounded with scrambled eggs. The next. because it is French fries. It's more to it. Come on. Huh? Yes. Who said that? Yeah.
Very handsome man on the back.
Yes, it is a Canadian dish. It is named as poutine. And what does it consist of? Deep fried fries, all toppled up with cheese and gravy, the brief gravy called known as poutine. And finally, for the starters, yes. Come on, this is easy.
Brinjal.
Come on, guys. Huh? Huh? Sorry? There is rice, okay. But what's the dish name? Where does it come from? It's very easy.
Lebanese.
The one who has contributed is not here, I think so. Come on. Okay, it's named as magluba. Yeah. It's a famous Middle Eastern rice vegetable meat dish. And it comes from the Middle East. Yeah. So what does it have? Rice, meat, eggplant. And what's the unique about this dish? It is the upside down dish. So guys, here we'll stop the starters segment and move to our salad segment. That is nothing but the speech marathon. And I want to tell you that we have 8 amazing speakers, and the first 6 speakers are ice-breaking speeches. So, without wasting time, let me welcome the first speaker, Toastmaster Omar. Toastmaster Omar, before that.
So I have multiple reasons to ask for this.
Also, I want to request our panel moderator, Toastmaster Santosh, to read out his objectives. Yeah. Yeah, he's doing it.
I don't have any.
The purpose of this project is to deliver basic section of the speech and about the first paper. And the title of the speech is Finding Breaker.
So I asked Toastmaster Omar what is his favorite dish, what he craves the most, and he said he loves juicy steak. So Toastmaster Omar, the stage is yours. Let's see how juicy your speech is.
Not very.
Welcome on board.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. So first of all, I asked for this because I have a lot of tools to help me out for my icebreaker. I have my water, my handkerchief. I know where the emergency exit is. So I have a very interesting thing to share. I hope I can share it. I'm a pie-creed coconut. Can everybody hear me in the back? This one? No, it's zero. So I need to think. Hello? I'm a pie-creed coconut. I don't actually know what that means. When I was preparing for the speech, it said I should start with something that catches everyone's attention. So I thought that was pretty catchy. My name is Omar Wakas. I'm 48 years old. I was born in a small town in the beautiful green province of Punjab in Pakistan. When I was quite young, my family moved to the UAE. My mother was a teacher and my father was a technical manager. He worked in different companies. One of it was PepsiCo, which meant when I was young, as a nourishing mind, I got all the nutrients I needed in sugary fizzy drinks. I was a happy child. I went to Overone English High School, which is 10 minutes away from here. I live 10 minutes away on this side, and I work 10 minutes away as well. Come to think of it, I've lived a lot of my life within a 20-kilometer radius of this place. I moved back home for college, and then for further education, where I graduated in mechanical engineering. I'm happily married. I have 2 beautiful daughters. They're aged 12 and 10, and they coincidentally go to the same school I did. Life has been good to me. It has taken me to far-off lands where I've had the good fortune of learning firsthand the beauty that is outside. I've had my ups and downs, but with time and patience, and with the support of my family, I have managed to accumulate a treasure trove of happy memories, and I hope to keep adding to that collection. On Saturdays, I'm the family man. I do exactly as I'm told. I pet my cat, I take care of the bird, I feed the fishes, and I do the DIY project that I started back in 1998. My wife often reminds me about it, and I tell her, when your man says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. You don't have to remind him every 6 months. Sundays are my time. Sunday is the time where I tend to the garden, I read. I like fiction, but I gravitate towards non-fiction. History, culture, religion, politics, they all fascinate me. I delve into movies, I binge watch, because sometimes there's nothing better than to let Netflix wash all over you, make you dumb. I'm also a bit outdoory. I'm a bit of a motorhead. My current passion is desert driving. Yesterday I was in Ampua, which is a place next to Alain, next to the Oman border. I've, however, lagged, dragged, procrastinated on some issues or to-dos, waiting for the right time, right opportunity, and mostly they have come. But before I turned 50, of all the things I've ticked off my bucket list, there is one final frontier, one final challenge. The challenge that brought me into this room, in this moment in time, in front of all of you. This is why I'm in Toastmasters. It was the summer of '89. I remember it as clear as today. As clear and as bright as this room today. The sun was always shining. There was not a worry in the world, and I was a young, confident achiever with no boundaries and no limits to how high I could fly. I was quite active in school. I made sure I was a part of school, play, extracurricular. I joined an inter-school competition for poetry. One of the schools was actually Indian High School, which is also not 10 minutes away from here. I was given a wide choice of material to learn, practice, prepare. I procrastinated. I waited. I delayed. Because there was always a tomorrow. Until there was no tomorrow. A confident, young, energetic kid marching on the stage. Let me march on stage. Marching on the stage, and with a deep, resonating voice, delivering with authority and clarity, my first few lines of a very ill-selected title. This is how it went. Never put off till tomorrow what you can do today, for when it comes tomorrow, you might forget what you want to say. And then I forgot. It has been some time. I'm happy to declare that I've managed to survive and prosper without having to stand in front of another 100 set of eyes until today. I'm good at putting thoughts to words and expressing them and dreaming and learning. I have started and ventured into a niche sector of my technical field and I have prospered. I have set goals and I've achieved them. I have let them go and I have roamed free. But today, I'm doing this to achieve and conquer the last frontier. My only nemesis, public speaking. Expressing with ease and comfort, with confidence and passion, with pizzazz. I have to do it now. I have to do it today. Because if there's one thing I have learned stubbornly, but finally, it is never put off till tomorrow what you can do today. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster, for us. As this is his first speech, so we need standing ovation. Now let me welcome our second speaker, that is Toastmaster Michael Hickson. Yes.
Can I mute this?
Michael Hickson, welcome on stage. I would request Toastmaster Santosh, panel moderator, to read out his objectives.
It's an icebreaker, and the title of the speech, Life in a Flash. And the purpose of the speech is for the member to introduce themselves to the club to learn the basic structure of the public speech to learn.
So I asked Toastmaster Michael what he craves the most, and he loves pizzas.
Pizzas.
Yeah, Toastmaster Michael, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Amina. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gents, guests, distinguished Toastmasters. What an absolute pleasure it is to be able to stand up here and give a speech to a crowd of such experience when it comes to public speaking. Life in a flash. Why life in a flash? Because my mother used to say to me, Michael, enjoy your life, because it'll be over in a flash. I'm 40 years old now, and I can still remember like it was yesterday when I joined the Royal Air Force at the age of 18. So I joined the Royal Air Force as a firefighter at the age of 18. I did 12 years in the Air Force. I visited around about 14 different countries. I did tours in Afghanistan and Iraq, and even that went in a flash. When I left the Air Force, I joined the UAE Air Force, and I was lucky enough to have my own fire crew there. Very new experience coming to the country, especially in the UAE Air Force. After that, I joined EMA as a risk and crisis manager, and from there, my current job is governance and resilience senior manager, Dubai Airports. So my job went from very interesting to very boring. I am married to a South Indian girl, so she's from Kerala. And if anybody's from all the faces go, what? So if anybody is here from South India, you understand what a challenge that is. And if you want any more information, we'll talk about that later. I have two daughters. One of them is 4, one of them is 5. Completely white for now. They've started to get that Indian gene coming through now, so they're a bit mixed. People are starting saying, have you got an Indian wife? Yes. I have a really daft German Shepherd dog. We got him to scare away people, but he's so cute and daft that he just licks people when they come, the delivery drivers. It's not scary at all. For any cat lovers, I have it's a Persian and 2 Scottish Fold cats. My interests are jiu-jitsu, although I've had an injury for about 6 months, so I don't know what I'm going to be like when I get back. I do some model making, a bit of piano playing. I try to go to the gym once in sort of 3 years. So I thought at this point, I'll tell you a few experiences that I've had, which has shaped how I think today. And the first experience is the most amazing experience I've ever experienced in my whole life. And that was when I was 20 years old and I was in Iraq. Imagine, I'd just come from school, I'd done 2 years in the military, they sent me to Iraq, and I'm on the back of a Chinook helicopter. You know, the helicopter with the two blades? Yeah. And I'm low level flying through Iraq, seeing all the overturned ships, seeing all the villages, and we had a chance where we were hovering about 500 feet above this village. I'm 20 years old on the back of this helicopter, not a clue what I'm doing. Still don't have a clue what I'm doing, but I had less of a clue then. And it was absolutely, it opened my mind completely to culture. And it led me to read books on culture, go and visit new cultures. So that was an amazing experience. If you ever meet my wife here, please don't tell her I said that, because I told her that marrying her was the best experience of my life. Now, the most scared I've ever been, as well as the most feeling of serenity that I've ever felt, was on the same aircraft, or same type of aircraft, but in Afghanistan. And long story short, we were the fire team, we got called out to an incident, and the Chinook helicopter with 2 blades, the same, was full of Marines. And we jumped on there, it was 11 o'clock at night time, it was a full moon, it was a little bit cloudy, and Chinook, it took off. And we were sat on the floor because it was just full of Marines. And as we took off, all this noise came from the cockpit, and it was all these buzzers saying, we're getting shot at. And we was. And the aircraft started veering left and right. I was saying a few naughty words. And I just remember the utmost fear that I felt for a few seconds. And then it turned to complete serenity. Because I thought that was it, I was going to die. Obviously I didn't come study here, speaking to you fine people. But the feeling of serenity that came over me, as we're still under fire, was amazing. And what I learned from that experience was that when it comes to the end, it's going to be fine. When I got back from Afghanistan, I was sat in a park and I was reading a book. Let's see if you guys can guess the author of the book by what I'm about to tell you. So I was sat in a park and I was reading this book, flicking through it, and the colours just came alive. The sounds were more prominent. I truly had access to the power of now. So when I say the power of now, does anyone know which author I'm talking about? I can't tell you, yes, exactly. So he's my go-to author. So when I'm stressed, when I'm down, when I'm in my mind too much, he's the author that I go to. And that book is the best book I've ever read. So that made me more spiritual, that made me more open-minded to my mind. Why am I here today? Well, I was in an emergency planning role a few weeks ago, and I was an evaluator of an emergency exercise in aviation. And I was in an auditorium with a few hundred people, and the facilitator was nice enough to hand me one of these. And apparently I did okay, but I couldn't remember anything that I said when I gave him back the microphone. So I thought, okay, there's a bit of trauma there, so let's sort that out. My title was Life in a Flash, so I really hope that I'm a valued member of this club until that flash is done. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mike. As was his first speech, he deserves standing ovation. Now let me invite the third speaker, Toastmaster Pushpa Thakur. Pushpa Thakur, welcome on board. I would request our panel moderator, Toastmaster Santosh, to read his speech objectives.
Vision, planet, do it. It's an icebreaker again, and the purpose of the speech is for the member to introduce himself, himself to the club, and learn the basic structure of the public speech. Good luck.
So I asked Toastmaster Pushkar what is his favorite dish, and he loves veg biryani. So Toastmaster Pushkar, all the best.
Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Public speaking is something I've always avoided. Over time, I realized the importance of being able to communicate and engage a group of people. We all here are different from each other. We all have our strengths and weaknesses. The main reason for me to join Toastmaster is not to become a world-class orator, but to be able to communicate well, to improve my vocabulary skills, and overcome my stage fear. I'm Pushpa Thakur, 40 years old. I'm born and brought up in Mumbai, India. After brainstorming and going through the memories and moments of my life, I would like to share the moments, the journey of my career. After finishing my engineering in 2006, it was in the month of May, in hot summer, when I came to Dubai. I was living at my auntie's house, who had called me here on visit visa. Impatient as my nature is, I wanted to immediately start earning and become independent. I took up my first job at the call center. I knew that was not for what I had done my engineering for and come to Dubai. I had big dreams actually. Uh, One day I was waiting at the bus stop on the bank street and I heard someone calling my name. I looked behind and saw a friend of mine. Uh, he was a senior from my engineering college. He asked me, Pushkar, what are you doing here in Dubai? I said, I'm looking for a job. We had a short chit chat and he took me to the HR of the company. Now, the HR of the company turned out to be from my place again. He took my short interview and he asked me to join as a project engineer for the company. Now, I had seen my friend who had recently got his driving license, so I immediately accepted the job. And he had got company's vehicle, so that tempted me to immediately get in. After working in the company for 3 years, I noticed the project sales guys in the company were getting a great commission and salaries. I just got tempted and then I decided I want to get into project sales. That was the time I was not getting the same opportunity in the same company. I decided to move on. I was getting job into project sales for firefighting company. Now, whether it be a swimming pool company or a firefighting company, we all were termed as subcontractors. So by the time I left my company and joined the new company, a new CEO was appointed. After joining the company, gentleman calls me and tells me, Pushkar, company has made a big blunder by appointing you because you don't have any experience in sales and neither do you come from a firefighting company. I was demotivated, I was shattered. Now I was left with only two options, either to work as a project engineer in the same company or with a lower salary or to go back to my previous job. So I was left with no option. So I said, okay, I'll take it up as a challenge. Of course, it was too demotivating for me, but I took it up. My main aim was to get into sales again. So after a year, I started getting business for the company. That made the company get me back into sales. After 2 years, I excelled and I excelled after 2 years and I was awarded the best highest sales guy of that year. So I proved myself. Again, that was not the end. I was much greedier. I decided to start my own company. So in 2016, of course, my wife was settled by that time. I did not have anyone dependent on me. I started my own company with whatever savings I had. And the owner of my company appointed 2 lawyers against me because he knew I'll take away all the business. But I knew I did not do anything wrong and whatever I was doing was all ethical. Finally, today, it's 2023 now, as of now, I have 40 employees working under my company's sponsorship. So, the most important thing in life is to have a great aim and determination to attain it. So, wish for it, plan it, and do it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pushkar. As his first speech, he deserves a standing ovation. Now, request for speakers, please don't leave the space empty, so just wait for the TMOD to send you off. Yes, the fourth speaker, I would like to invite Toastmaster Srikanth. Toastmaster Srikanth, welcome on board. So I asked Toastmaster Srikanth what cravings he loves the most, and he mentioned matar paneer and mom's home cooked food. So, yes, no.
So I thought if I don't say, then I'll use ice.
Okay, no, no, no. The stage is all yours.
Hello, good evening, everyone. How are you doing? Such a nice place and such a good feel I have now. I am throwing this question to all of you. Like, do you believe in destiny? So, how many of you can you raise your hands? Oh, very nice. Uh, as the topic says, yes, about the destiny. I have always felt that you can change your destiny by your actions and your reactions. So, any action or reaction can change your destiny. So, my name is Shrikant Iyer. I am a South Indian, born and brought up in New Delhi. I am working with a company in Jawza in a petrochem Middle East as a chemical trader, as a supply chain team lead. As I said, my mother tongue is Tamil. Now I want to share a small story with you all. During my childhood days, when I was studying in my 10th, 9th or 10th grade standards, I was as usual not interested in studies, uh, not having much of friends, and I was bullied in the school because I had a twin brother whose name is Sri Kumar. So I was bullied in the school. So to overcome that, I actually started taking interest in how to overcome that. So to overcome that, I was actually going through some TV shows. So I was going through a show called in a on the channel there was a show based on numerology and astrology. So that interested me to change my destiny. So what has happened? Eventually, I was just going through all the shows and I started to learn about that art, astrology, and numerology, and started to change my way of actions and my alterations in the name. So I actually have changed my name with a double A and double E, and actually it has helped me a lot. It actually had a huge impact. It actually had a huge impact on me. It had a positive attitude towards my life, towards how I see my friends. So slowly, I have actually started grasping all this art and started studying about this. So during my after this school and everything, I went to the college, did my masters in supply chain. So there, while I was actually my lecture started to know about me. So they asked me, "What is your hobby?" So as I mentioned, my hobbies are astrology, numerology. So he got so excited. So that was my first consultation fee. He paid me 2,000 rupee. So at that time it was I thought, okay, I am like a fortune teller. I thought, okay, I can do something. So it motivated me. I then maybe should be around 10 or 15 people. There were people who started consulting me, and eventually what has happened is that when they came back to me telling that something has changed in their life, it gave me immense pleasure. Now I don't know how that arrived. Like, if as the topic says, do you believe in destiny? So is it not that I think that see I should see people happy in whatever advice I give, and if something can happen like that, that is the most memorable thing I can feel that. Actually, when I started to change my name, as I mentioned to you, it actually had many positive things around me. Be it psychological. I think yes, most of them would agree. Just by changing names doesn't change your destiny, but psychologically it has an different. It has an effect. I started to excel in studies. I started to socialize. I took active participation in cultural activities in my college, and I got an award during that time. So I realized, okay, so this has changed. So this just a simple alteration has changed me in such a beautiful way. People started to like me and started to take interest in my speeches or whatever I talk, or they start at least try to listen to me. So on this note, as the topic says, I frankly I believe in destiny. I believe in destiny, and destiny I think is a blend of always a good fortune and hard work. Without hard work, you cannot get anything. And as people say, life is full of possibilities and opportunities. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shrikant. Yes, it is his first speech, so deserves a standing ovation. Now I'd like to thank speaker number 5, Toastmaster Ali Zardi. Toastmaster Ali Zardi, welcome on board. I asked Toastmaster Ali Zardi what he craves the most, and he loves biryani. So Toastmaster Ali Zardi, stage is yours. All the best.
Thank you. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters.
Good evening.
I stand before you today as a person who has experienced in his life that life takes you to a journey in its own way, and you should take chances which it comes in its way. One cannot plan his destination, and we have to live something to the destiny. My name is Ali Zaidi. I come from a city which was once called Manchester of India, that is Kanpur, a city filled with factories, tanneries, and British colonial system. I come from an extremely ordinary working class family with 2 elder siblings, and my early education was in my hometown. Both of my parents have passed away, and they are in a better place now. Truth be told, there has been 2 incidents in my life which has changed my destiny and have made the person which I am today. I am going to share the 2 incidents of my life. So the first story. Honestly, I was never been a studious child. Like all other parents which wanted the best of the children, my parents also wanted the best for me. They wanted me to build my career in science, either to become an engineer or doctor, and sooner they realized I'm not meant for that. I then finally chose the commerce stream, and then again, they wanted me to become either a chartered accountant or a company secretary, because that was a more of a reputable job, which again was beyond my interest and my capacity as well, as I cannot crack those exams. Finally, I got myself enrolled into a very innovative and a new course through the guidance of my father, because he used to say, enroll in that course which will be of in future demand. I got myself enrolled in Masters in Hospital Administration in an institute in Jaipur. After getting enrolled, I again realized that this course is not meant for me, because more of the subjects were related to science and medical background. But I kept on moving, and with the help of my professors and dean, I chose a subject called health insurance, which was very less in demand in 2002. And I was only the student in that batch of 2002 and 4 which has chosen that stream. Past 18 years, I have been associated with this industry and have worked in the leadership positions with many organizations like Bupa, Scots, Apollo, and many others. That was one of the best decisions which I've made in my career. Second story is all about when I started working in my second organization, which was Raksha TPA. That was one of the largest TPA in north part of India. One of the day, our CEO was having a strategic meeting with all the managers, and were having a discussion and giving the opportunity to everyone that is there anyone who is willing to lead the project in South. Without any hesitant, I said, I'm willing to proceed with this assignment. And many of the senior leaders and managers in the room were quite shocked, because I was having a very less experience, 3 years of experience at that point of time. But somehow, my gut feeling was saying that I can do it. The CEO liked my confidence and the burning desire which he can see me, and gave me the opportunity. Again, that was it was a great decision because it gave me an immense confidence going from north to south to open 3 branches and making it successful. In the end, I've realized that life takes you to a journey and to the destination which you never planned to go. But in the end, the dots get connected. I'm very, very grateful and honored to my professors, to my teachers, and to my father who advised me to take chances and never look back. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ali Zaidi. Yes, as his first icebreaker speech, he deserves a standing ovation. Now I would like to invite speaker number 6, Toastmaster Mohammad Rashid. And I also want to inform you that timing machine is here. Toastmaster Mohammad Rashid, welcome on board. So I asked Toastmaster Mohammad Rashid what he craves the most, and he says fish noli. I also want to request our panel moderator, Toastmaster Santosh, to read out his speech objectives.
The purpose of the speech is to practice applying feedback and to serve as a speech evaluator during club meeting. And another purpose is the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. And the title of the speech is Who More Might Cheese. Good luck.
Oh, Toastmaster Mohammad Rashid, all the best.
Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests, good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
Are you ready to accept the change in your lives?
Positive.
Sometimes.
Imagine you are quietly living in your comfort zone, expecting everything to be the same far into the future. And then, suddenly something unexpected happens. Your life turns into a turmoil. You don't know what to do next. Well, change happens. This is the central lesson in the book Who Moved My Cheese by Spencer Johnson. The book had 4 characters, 2 little men called Ho and Hem, and 2 mice called Sniff and Scurry. Every day, they ran towards a maze looking for cheese to nourish them and to make them happy. And finally, Sniff and Scurry, those mice, they every day went early into the maze and found the cheese. They were always ready for the changes in their lives. And they always put their running shoes hung around their neck so that they are ready to move and look out for cheese. Whereas the 2 little men, Hem and Ho, they were slow. They walked slowly to the cheese station and thinking that the cheese would always be there. They kept their running shoes away, thinking that every thing would be the same. Every day the cheese would be there. And they were very happy, and they even wrote in the wall, having cheese makes you happy. One day, when Sniff and Scurry arrived at the cheese station where they found the cheese was not there. But they were not surprised, because they were prepared and they were watching that the supply of cheese was reducing day by day. So they immediately put their running shoes on and dashed towards the next location to find the cheese. Later that day, the 2 men, Hem and Ho, arrived and saw that the cheese was not there. Where is the cheese gone? Who moved my cheese? Yelled Hem. They went back home very discouraged and disappointed. And on the way they wrote on the wall, the more important the cheese is to you, the more you want to hold on to it. The next day again, the two little men, hem and ho, arrived at the cheese station, thinking that the cheese would be there, but it was not there. Finally, Ho decided that he will move out of the cheese station to find the cheese. And on the way out, he wrote on the wall a message to the other men. If you do not change, you can become extinct. Meanwhile, the two mice, Sniff and Scurry, went further into the maze and found abundant supply of cheese. But Ho was still anxious and was wondering whether he should move out of the maze. And he just wrote a saying on the wall and stared at it for some time. What would you do if you weren't afraid? Ho realized that the change would not have taken him by surprise had he been watching all along what has been happening and had he anticipated the change. And he wrote on the wall, smell the cheese often so you know when it is getting old. Learning their lesson, Hem and Ho continued their journey into the maze and finally they found their cheese. And the two mice, Sniff and Scurry, was already there and they welcomed them. Now Ho summarized the whole lessons what they have learned and wrote on the largest wall on the next cheese station where they found the cheese. And this was a summary. The change happens, anticipate change, monitor change, adapt to change quickly, change, enjoy change, be ready to change quickly and enjoy it again and again. I too had my own share of cheeses which I had pursued. And one such elusive, exotic, and essential cheese which I had pursued was public speaking. I searched for it and I found Toastmasters. And since the day I joined Toastmasters, I have been relishing this delicious and most rewarding cheese called Toastmasters. Dear Toastmasters and guests, you too might have many exotic cheeses which you would like to pursue. Be ready with your running shoes on, for you never know when your cheese will be moved. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rashid. Now I'd like to invite our speaker number 7, Toastmaster Amina Salma. And I would request our panel moderator, Toastmaster Santosh, to read his speech objectives.
The purpose of the speech is for the member to demonstrate the ability to deliver an effective, respectful speech, evaluation speech, and it's under the level 1. The topic is pursuit of happiness.
Toastmaster Amina Salma, welcome on board. I asked him what he craves the most and he loves mutton biryani. Toastmaster Amina Salma, stage is all yours.
Feeling hungry. Immediately after took off the flight, the pilot announced, "Pull back, folks. Bear with me, folks. This is my first time." It just brings smile to all passengers in the journey to ease the pressure of the journey. Good evening, all the fellow lovely Toastmaster and the distinguished guests. How many of you wanted to be happy? That's great. Today we're going to launch a happiness program, loyalty program, absolutely free of cost only for you. Are you ready to join?
Yes.
Great. As part of that program, we will unlock the 3 secrets of the happiness, as well as you will be having that wallet where the smiles will be get added. So just to unlock the secret, I just wanted to recollect one of my childhood story. Not childhood, that time I was in school, college. So still remember that all the colleges in those we have genius students, those sit in the last bench, and they proclaimed as genius students in the class, and they can do anything just to make others happy, even at the cost of having the punishment for them. And that day, all of a sudden, our math class been cancelled, and during that time, English teacher popped up, and everyone was super happy. I guess why they are all happy, not because of the English. And all of a sudden, one of my genius friends, Banki Mukherjee, is get excited by the influenced by the Wright brothers, and they just launched a flight in the class itself. And unfortunately, it's landed in front of the English map. And when it has been taken up, it is written, "We love you, English, even in our dreams." You can imagine what happened after that, but one thing happened. All the class laughed, smiled. So, the first secret, we don't have to take life so seriously. Life, you cannot get out of life until alive. So, be stupid, be weird, be crazy, do anything just to make happy. Yeah. Because the life is too short to get happy. The second one, the second secret, are you ready for the second secret to unlock?
Yes.
Great. So second secret, when I am completed the masters and my MBA and looking for the job, all the companies are looking for the experienced guy, not the freshers. And all of a sudden I met that same friend, you remember my friend Banku. And he was super happy. But hey Banku, how are you? I was doing great. So what are you doing? Nothing of it. I get surprised. Means, yeah, you know that in the college from the school days, I always be first from the last. And I continue that consistency during my college days as well. So after my graduation, my parents told, it's over. Now you have to find your own expenses, you manage your own expenses. And then, all of a sudden I got an opportunity to become a stand-up comedian. And nowadays, I get invited by the corporate and the politicians to get release the stress. Wow, it's just became the music to my ears. And it reminds me, the happiness is not having the best of everything. It means making the best what you have. And it's resonate. The happiness means to find the 1,000 reasons to smile when the life will give you 100 reasons to cry. So are you ready to unlock the third secret?
Yes.
Great. It's related to my elder daughter, Ashmita. She's starting grade 7. And as you know, nowadays how the kids, if you overlook for a few minutes, you will find with some gadgets. And a lot of times I got really irritated and just tell you, I'm not concentrating on anything. All of a sudden, that day, it was a very hectic day. I am coming back home from the office. Literally feel tired. Ashmita come on my way and she told, Papa, I have something for you. And I'll take later. She told, just take 30 seconds. So I came to know she has prepared a beautiful greetings card because her exams result, math exam is out and I have helped her in the study. So she has prepared a beautiful greetings card for me and a small wrap for me to token of gratitude. It's really touched my heart. And I realize we should not take or judge people from anyone's face value. Sometimes it's very important when we are running to pursuit of our happiness, we should take a pause and just be happy. And most of the time when we are finding the happiness, we forget the happiness in our hills. And that's, if you follow these 3 secrets, don't take the life so seriously, just make your child alive, be happy, also try to find the reasons for the smile, and take a pause, just enjoying the moment. I can assure you, you will get happiness, and try to spread that happiness to whosoever you will get. And if you follow this, you will earn the happiness loyalty points, smileys, which will never expire. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amina Salma. Now I'd like to invite the last speaker, speaker number 8, Toastmaster Yana Morton. Toastmaster Yana Morton, welcome on board. I would request panel moderator Toastmaster Santosh to read her speech objectives.
The purpose of the speech is to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during club meeting. And other purpose is to deliver constructive feedback on other members' presentation. And the speech title is Mystery Restaurant Assessor under the level 1.
So I asked Toastmaster Yana what she craves the most, and she replied, on her behaved days, she loves to have avocado toast with poached egg and a beetroot salad. And on her naughty days, it's French fries with lots of homemade tartar sauce. Oh, delicious. Toastmaster Yana, all the best.
It's Wednesday. It's 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and I'm running around literally like headless chicken. I have my 2 little obligations, one sitting at one side at the back seat of my car, the other one is on another side, and I'm just trying to redistribute them in their afternoon school activities. And all I'm looking forward to is to just get home and relax, not drive, not deal with the traffic. And at that point, my dear friend Beate calls me and says, Yana, I hope you're free tonight because I want to take you to an amazing restaurant. It's a high-end restaurant. And I have 1,000 dirham to spend just between 2 of us. Isn't that amazing? Please say yes. Good evening, dear Toastmasters. Good evening, dear guests. So I'm just curious which one of you would answer yes straight away. I'm free tonight. Let's go. Really? Only a few foodies in the audience? I'm shocked. Oh, there you go. Okay, Salah, thank you. So I was a little hesitant, I have to say, because I'm quite tired. It's Wednesday, it's middle of the week. I need to wake up early in the morning, fix the damn lunch boxes, take my kids to school, put on the work attitude, and be productive during the day. And I know that my friend Beate, it's a real party animal. She's happily single, no children. So when she goes out, she really wants to take advantage of that. But she can sense my hesitation, and she knows how I like my night sleep. And she goes, Yana, come on, forget about your beauty sleep. I know exactly what you're thinking about, but you can sleep as much as you can in your graveyard. And with this line, she always gets me. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna join you. And she said, excellent. So here is the deal. We going to be secret restaurant assessors. So we need to work a little bit during our dinner. And I'm like, uh-oh, here it comes. And she's like, I need you to be informed about what are the questions going to be about, because then we need to fill out this questionnaire. So please, can I send it to you so you can study the question? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? So shortly after, she sends me this email with this super long 16 pages document and detailed questions about every single detail from timing, ambience, food, drinks, the waiter's approach. And by reading it, I thought I'm prepping for Harvard entry exam rather than going out to eat with my friend. And I called her and I'm like, Beate, I can't possibly remember every single question from this questionnaire. It's so detailed. So maybe I can take a little notebook and write notes during the dinner? And she goes, absolutely not. We are secret assessors. They cannot be obvious that we are assessing them. So you can type in your phone. It will be less noticeable. And I thought, so I'm going to become one of those people that I dearly judge when I see them eating at the restaurant and holding their phones in their hands. But I thought, just put on your happy attitude and go with the flow. So there we come. We arrived to the restaurant, and it's beautiful. It's very fufu shushu. That's how I call fancy places. The light is beautifully dimmed. There's a fire in the background, really nice music. Everyone is super attentive. And I know that the minute they see us at our table, the waiter should be with us in 3 minutes. If he's not, he's losing points already. So the minute we sit down, we literally became secret CIA agents, watching every single move, timing, and all these details that were in the questionnaire. And I have to honestly say, I was looking for really nice, relaxing weekend with my friend and little catch-up chat. But we were on a mission all the time, literally typing every single details down to be able to answer the questionnaire. Because here's the thing, once you become the mystery restaurant assessor, the more assessments you make, the higher the level you get. So my friend Beate was aiming for real fufu shushu places in Dubai. So we really had to answer every single question on that questionnaire. So throughout the evening, we had a waiter called Victor. He was from Tajikistan, and he was quite new in the restaurant, unfortunately for him, because he lost a few points during the evening, not knowing some of our questions that we asked, and we were literally torturing him. One thing that happened to me, which I normally don't like to do, is to send food away. When something comes and I don't like it, I'm quite polite. I pick things that I might like and I'm just not sending the food back. But Beate was on the mission. So our main food arrived. It was a little colder than she was expecting. So she sent it back. And I was so hungry after all the typing that I was quite miserable. I was like, no, please keep the food on the table. It's okay. She's like, no, it's a high-end restaurant. This is not acceptable. So seeing my friend Beate in such a role was quite surprising to me because she's normally very laid back, but she takes her role as a mystery restaurant assessor very seriously. And throughout the evening, what I learned were 3 things. I should not judge the people in the restaurant that are on their phone, because they might be as well mystery restaurant assessors, just like I was. Very important mission. Lesson number 2 from that evening is that if I don't get my beauty sleep, I have to wake up early. I don't have to stress so much about the lunch boxes for my kids. I can easily slip 20 dirhams in their pockets, saying buy something nutritious in the little cafe at the school, knowing that they're gonna spend it all on cheap chocolate cookies. But it's okay, makes them happy. And the third very important lesson that I learned is that with the right attitude, you can enjoy being a CIA agent. And the most important is to smile and enjoy your evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yana. So I would request, that wraps up our salad segment, salad segment, and I would request our timer, Toastmaster Dervish, to please give us the timer's report.
So, good evening, everyone. So, the first speaker was TMOD, and his speech duration was 7 minutes. The second speech was for TM Michael. His speech duration was 6 minutes and 13 seconds. For TM Pushkar, third speech, the duration was 5 minutes and 37 seconds. And after that was TM Shrikant. His speech was 5 minutes and 39 seconds. Then there was TM Ali. His speech was 4 minutes. And after that was TM Muhammad Rashid. His speech duration was 6 minutes and 9 seconds. After that was TM Amitava. Speech duration 6 minutes and 28 seconds. And lastly, TM Yana. with a speech duration of 6 minutes and 52 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Darwish. So, this wraps up our salad segment, and we need to have the voting, and the Menti code is 75928144. Yeah, and only Toastmaster members can vote. Yeah, 75928144. It is mentimeter.com. So, yeah. We'll post it on the group? Yeah, we'll post it on the group. Yeah, 75928144. So guys, we are heading for the break, okay, and it's 8 minutes, and before that, let's come up on the stage and take a picture.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want to inform you that even the speakers can vote, and as well as the evaluator, because I think we have shortage of votes. So guys, the link is posted on the group, as well as the Menti code. Yeah, the whoever vote is parking is free. Yeah. So now let's move on to our main course segment. But before that, I want to inform you that one of our talented Toastmaster reached division level and is the first runner-up, and that is none other than Toastmaster Maher. Toastmaster Maher, welcome on board, welcome on stage. And for this, I would like to invite our President Toastmaster Devi to felicitate him. Toastmaster Devi, welcome on board and congratulations, Toastmaster Maher.
Amina. Let's all give a huge round of applause for Toastmaster Maher for reaching the division level first runner-up. Congratulations, Maher. Congratulations and well done.
So, guys, the most awaited segment, the main course, and for this, it is the panel evaluation. So, we heard 8 very good speakers, and now it's time for us to check how is their performances. So, I would like to call our Toastmaster Santosh as the panel moderator, and Toastmaster Santosh will be inviting 4 esteemed evaluators who will evaluate the speakers' performances and inform us their improvements. So, Toastmaster Santosh, the stage is yours. And I asked Toastmaster Santosh what he loves the most. He loves very simple, which I also love, that is okra and chapati. Yeah. So, the stage is yours. All the best.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. How are you all doing? Right. Very excited? Yes. Somebody's having cream, right? Cake? They're having cake clothes, right? Okay. Let me ask you one question to you. What do you like the most? Milk or cream? Come on.
Milk.
Cream? I heard cream, right? Milk. Okay, milk. But this is all about the cream today. Now the panel evaluation is the cream of the meeting or the main course of the meeting. And I'm Santosh Na, your panel moderator. Now I'm going to welcome the eminent panel evaluators. Let me call upon the stage the first panel evaluator, Toastmaster George. Please welcome Toastmaster George. This is the last Toastmaster George. Okay, so let me welcome now Toastmaster Rashmi. Toastmaster Joy V. Let's welcome Toastmaster Joy. And our last evaluator, Toastmaster Raju Paul. Okay, great. So I think we are good to start this meeting. Now I'll start with our first speaker, Toastmaster Umar Wakas. And the question to Toastmaster George, in terms of the positive points for speaker. Now, we'd like to know what are the key elements you liked about this speaker and the speech?
Awesome. Toastmaster Omar Wakas. One thing right off the bat that I can clearly identify about Toastmaster Omar is he's a truly great speechwriter. A very, very solid structure. He followed the age-old advice that Mahir always tells us: tell the audience what they're going to hear, tell what they just heard, which is great. Next, using the stage, making the most out of the space, which was really great by Toastmaster Omar. And lastly, you were absolutely confident while speaking. And that is one of these star qualities that I'm sure a lot of us, including me, would want to replicate on that stage. And you already possessing that quality, kudos to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster George. That was a great feedback. Now let's ask Toastmaster Rashmi about the improvement areas for the speaker. Toastmaster Rashmi.
First of all, I would like to congratulate Toastmaster Umar Wakas. Since George already commented on the positives, I would like to, as you asked, on the improvements. I'd like to see a warm smile on the speaker's face. We are getting to know each other. So the speaker has an intrinsic humor sense with him. He effortlessly made us laugh with his icebreaker. So why not have a warm smile, at least during the introduction, and probably best if throughout the speak. Right now he's smiling. I'm sure you can bring it on when you're on stage as well. And you have a very deep, very beautiful voice, which many of our speakers must be craving for. So why don't speaker use the voice a bit more powerfully in terms of voice modulations, because in his story he had many ups and downs. Maybe he could have added a little more life through his voice. That would have made a big difference, because he has got a very good voice. And
I think these are the great feedbacks and
all right. I'll talk to him later in detail. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rashmi. And as Toastmaster George mentioned, there are very positive points in terms of the stage use, etc. The one thing about a smile, my name is Santosh, is about happiness. We can catch up later. I can spread that happiness to you. Really good luck. Okay, so now it's the time to go to the speaker number 2, Toastmaster Michael Hickson. And let's talk about the positive point for speaker. I would request Toastmaster Joyveer. Joyveer, I'd like to know what do you like about the story, and what do you think the speaker is brilliant at?
Thank you, Toastmaster Santosh. The speaker, Toastmaster Michael. The first thing is wonderful title, Life in a Flash. That takes me to a movie hall. And it was like I was sitting in a movie and everything was in front of my eyes and how you were narrating the story. Another very good point was it was a wonderful start. You set the intro right. You engaged the audience. And another thing which I really liked, a tremendous synchronization with your body language and the speech what you are talking to. Second, but not, I would say, something which was very good also in the speech was sense of humor, good sense of humor. And you have a tremendous good vocal tone. And this vocal tone is one of the prerequisites for having in a public speaking dais. So work on those things. These are your positives. Build on those, and I'm pretty sure that you will fly very high. Well done from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Charlie. It's a great feedback, and now let's take a spin on this feedback. And I want to ask Toastmaster Raiju, what do you think the speaker could have done better?
Thank you, Toastmaster Santosh. Toastmaster Michael, to me, it didn't seem as though this was your icebreaker speech. So it is very hard to pick out negatives and recommend positives, but at the same time, probably what you could work upon is the vocal variety. Toastmaster Joygit mentioned about it, but there were a couple of instances where you could have actually made some more impact, like very interesting and very boring. There could have been a tone change there, and likewise, I was about to die. That expression could have been changed slightly. I think otherwise, overall, it was
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Raju. I did also had that wanted to comment on that in terms of vocal variety, voice modulation, and making use of the space as well. But in terms of the emotions, what you committed, that was awesome, and the sense of humor element, that was also great. Good job.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Let's move on to speaker 3, Toastmaster Pushkar Thakur. And I would like to talk about the positive points of speaker, Toastmaster Rashmi. If I say the speech was Rasmatas, now I know you surely remember that. It's a verb, it implies impress, and it was said by one of our Toastmasters some time back. Would you agree? And what impressed you about this speaker plus the speech?
I think I was a word master that day. So, the first thing that I noticed with our speaker is a great smile. He started with a warmth, a great message as the title, and he could very well structure the speech and he could connect the title very well to his conclusion. So it was a very rounded speech, I would say. So that is a very interesting part coming from an icebreaker speech. It didn't come across as his first speech. He was mindful of using the space, very confident voice. His posture was oozing confidence. It's an inspiring speech. It has so much of passion in it. It showed the speaker's hunger for success, how he pursued it through the ups and downs, and he finally made it. So it was very personal. So it was very inspiring for anybody who was listening to it. That is the main takeaways for us, for me.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rashmi. And I want to talk about improvement points for Toastmaster Pushkar. Toastmaster George, so could you please let us know the areas that you think the speaker should improve upon? And be mindful fact, this is the first icebreaker speech.
Sure, thanks for that reminder, Toastmaster Santosh. Honestly, just one major thing. I have spoken to you, Toastmaster Pushkar, and you're a very outgoing person, you're a very strong person. But when you came onto the stage, you had the notes in your hand, and you did this. Why do you need to hide your notes? It's fine, be confident, spread your arms out wide. Speak your story. Your story is very, very powerful. It's very genuine. It's about how you followed your dreams and you got there. You don't have to be shy, you don't have to be afraid of the stage. Be confident because you are who you are on stage and you're just portraying that to the audience listening. Just one more other point, subconsciously train yourself to pause while thinking. Rather than saying,
Absolutely.
That's it from my end.
That's very great feedback, and I did observe that. And apart from in terms of the positive, the voice was awesome. And I was like, completely engrossed in that. Speech was really inspirational, and again, the feedbacks, the considered feedbacks, movement, and rehearse yourself, and good luck for the next time, Toastmaster Pushkar. Okay, so moving on to our speaker 4, Toastmaster Srikant Iyer. And again, in terms of the positive points for the speaker, I would request Toastmaster Raju. And Toastmaster Raju, what do you like about the story? And what do you think the speaker is really brilliant at?
Thank you, Toastmaster Santosh. At the outset, congratulations, Toastmaster Srika. It was a fabulous speech for the icebreaker. He started off with a question prompting the audience to think, and then he tried to put his life in a story. And the conclusion was awesome. There was a message in the conclusion which was like, success comes only with hard work. This was the best part for me.
Right, so that means that I need to be after that success. So great, thank you. And I would request Toastmaster Joy, in terms of, are there any areas where you feel that an improvement is needed for Toastmaster Srikanth?
Toastmaster Srikanth, you remind me of Krishnamacharya Srikanth. You came to bat and you were very reckless in hitting sixes. And while hitting sixes and boundaries to the balls in the boundaries, you missed few which could gone out of the orbit and given you the biggest six in this tournament. So there are few things which I will like to tell you about your footworks on the stage. So when I say footworks, not on the pitch but on the stage, the place is yours. Know your stage better. Another thing was, which I felt that you can improve, try not to use too many of filler words. You are using too many of filler words like and there are a lot of. If you forget something, it's very natural for any human being to forget. So when you forget, improvise it with your silence and with your facial expressions.
Absolutely, Toastmaster. I mean, I also heard about one of the filler word
That actually been used many times. Actually noted on maybe 25 times been used. And that was feedback which I wanted to give. But apart from in terms of the construct of the speech, really great, inspirational, and good luck for the next time. But one more feedback I want to give you about is that prepare yourself. That's important here. Try to avoid the notes. Okay, thank you very much, evaluators. Okay, now going to speaker number 5, Toastmaster Alizadi. I'm sorry. I want to talk about the positive points for the speaker first, and I would request Toastmaster George. Toastmaster George, what really impressed you today? Only today, about this speech and the speaker.
Just today, I want to first give a massive shout out to the mentor of Toastmaster Ali Zaidi, because the preparation that definitely went behind it would have been quite difficult without a mentor, isn't it, Toastmaster Ali Zaidi? So convey my regards to your mentor. And just quickly going through, amazing eye contact, and kudos to you for connecting strongly initially, very confident with your content. Please keep this up. Great structure, great preparation, and again, you're very aware of your Toastmaster etiquette at the very first speech, so kudos to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster George. And we all strive for perfections, and nobody's perfect. We are human beings. So let me ask, in terms of what can we think about improvement, Toastmaster Rashmi, if you can let us know the areas you believe that can be improved.
Sure. The Toastmaster Ali Zaidi is a very confident speaker, no doubt about it. He also has a very strong voice. But I would like to suggest, since he was talking about his own 2 personal stories, there could have been a more personalized narration, more personal moments. The first confusion of deciding on the career path, and later when an opportunity came up, when everybody else was fearing to take it up, he didn't have a second thought. He went and took it and made it. So there could have been those personal dilemma moments explained better with the better voice modulation. It would have made it much more interesting. That's one. And more focused footwork. Since rest all were great, if the footwork was, because there were many circumstances that he faced in his life, so it could have narrated better with better focused footwork on the stage. You can definitely work on that. So this is just an icebreaker. One more suggestion to all our speakers, in fact, always leave the stage after handing it over to the person in charge, the responsible person, because especially for the icebreaker, they got standing ovation today. So be there to enjoy the fruit of your hard work. This is a reminder for all of us, including me. Yeah.
And
Actually, that's a feedback for me as well. Thank you, Toastmaster Rashmi. Having said this, absolutely, and I saw that you've been standing in one position. I think it would have been good making you the stage. That's very important. Eye contact also, I was a bit observing it. There's a need for improvement. But however, the structure of the script was really good, and I kudos to your mentor. And voice modulations can also be improved upon. Anyways, good luck, Toastmaster Ali. Okay, so now the speaker number 6, Toastmaster Mohammed Rashid, and I would request Toastmaster Javed about the positive points. Toastmaster Javed, I heard that you have been circling the whole world, and I'm sure that you have been to many clubs. Today again, what is the unique talent you have seen in Toastmaster Mohammed which you have not seen anywhere in the club?
Thank you. The one thing very unique about Toastmaster Rashid is instant connect with his audience. As soon as he stands on the dais, he immediately connects with his audience. And today was a testimony for it. As soon as he started with an engaged word, engaged sentence, where audience immediately got engaged. He had an extremely good facial expression, and moreover, he has I would say, fantastic vocal variety. I know Toastmaster Rashid for years, and he has always excelled. Every year he is excelling, and he is I think, a pinnacle example of continual improvement. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Joyvi. And in areas which I'd like to talk, I would request Toastmaster Raiju. From your perspective, where do you think that Toastmaster Rashid did not know cheese properly?
Toastmaster Rashid is an ace speaker, and he used slides very well. But I have a couple of suggestions with those slides. You had 4 characters, and probably it was a bit confusing to the audience as to who was who. You had the names mentioned on the slides, but probably it could have been clearer. And another point that I would want to highlight is, in terms of vocal variety, especially when you use the sentence, the more important your cheese is to you, the more you want it. Probably there could have been a pause and a change in the vocal variety there.
Absolutely, yeah.
The power of pauses, I think that's a recommendation that we have to give to everyone. Everyone should be making use of the power pauses. Having said that, I did feel that pause were a little bit missing here, but in terms of your positive points, that instant connect, really amazing. I really got into it, and I feel like that I should be eating one pie of the cheese. So that was really great, and voice modulation, awesome. The slides part, I think, could have been a little more improved. Proper characters, names, so that everyone would have understood well. Right, so thank you and good luck. Let's move on to our speaker number 7, Toastmaster Amina Salma, and I would request Toastmaster Rashmi from your positive points was speaker. What really impressed you about this speech and the speaker, Toastmaster Rashmi?
Thank you, Santosh. This was a speech after our speaker had received his first feedback, and I had heard both. I was fortunate to listen to both your speeches. So the speaker had a very good beginning. It was very engaging. That was the feedback he received earlier. So it was very good narration. It kept me interested, and it brought a smile on my face multiple times. So incorporating humor is one of the feedbacks that our speaker received, and he did achieve it very well today. It was loaded with a lot of lovely reminders. Who wouldn't love to listen to this or have that reminders every day in your life? It was very motivating. It was a great reminder messages and well thought out delivery. Your pursuit of happiness presented to us in an interesting package of loyalty program. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rashmi. And I would request now Toastmaster George on the improvement side. What do you think the speakers could have improved upon and done better, Toastmaster George?
Toastmaster Amitava is a strong, seasoned Toastmaster. So 3 quick points from my side. Stick to the script. You would ask how, as an evaluator, how do I know that you didn't stick to the script? It's because of sentence structuring. I can see that while you're speaking, the tenses, a little bit of your sentences, what was supposed to be said after comes ahead. And this may have been avoided if we start to stick to the script. And I think in your Toastmasters journey, I'm sure you're at that moment where you can stick to the script. Just 2 more quick points. Vocal variety. Vocal variety helps you land your humor. I could see it was really, really as Salisbury does it, there was a lot of humor sprinkled all around. But just a little more vocal variety and it lands your humor. Take that chance. Alright? Cheers.
Thank you. So those are great feedbacks. So one of the feedbacks I want to give you to Toastmaster Amita, I have very high expectations. Every speech he does, he comes to me to give feedback. And I said, I'm going to give the feedback when I'm on the stage along with my evaluators. So one of the feedback I want to give to Toastmaster Amita is your vocal variety is awesome. Your speech construct is awesome, very inspirational. And one thing which I wanted to talk about is when you said the life is too short, I really got worried about it. It is because now I start thinking about the insurance plan, But what would have been good, better is that if you can augment little of emotions into it, that would have been changed the whole perspective. People could understand, okay, this is something we have to be really careful about it. Okay, that was the feedback I want to give. And good luck, Toastmaster Mitwa. So now we're going to the last speaker, Toastmaster Yana Morton. And I would request Toastmaster Raju, in terms of Toastmaster Raju, from a positive point to the speaker, what do you think the speaker was really brilliant and what really amazed you today?
Toastmaster Yana, it was a great speech. And what amazed me the most was the way she set up the ambience. The way she described the room, it was amazing. She started off with a good question to the audience, prompting them to look for what is there in the speech. And then the body language, actions, and all was fantastic, and the conclusion as well was great. Overall, fantastic speech, Yana.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raju. It was a great feedback, and I would request now Toastmaster Joy on the improvement points again. What do you think the speaker could have done better? And I'm sure that you had high expectations from Toastmaster Yana as well, so I want to hear from, and the audience also want to hear from you.
Thank you. Toastmaster Yana, your speech was enthralling, wonderful. I would just focus on something just as room for improvement. I was wondering that your visual engagement could have been more better. Now what I have noticed that your visual engagement was towards one side. It wasn't to the 360 degree. So when you speak on the dais, you ensure that your visual engagement is also 360 degree, at least to all of the audience. That's number one. Number two is some time when you are describing about some in your speech, I would suggest, and it's my advice, that if you could dramatize it much more, then it could have been more engaging. Other than these two improvements, I see you a fantastic speaker, and probably sometime you'll be a international winner in public speaking. Good luck.
Wow, thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Javed. That's a really great feedback, and thank you, Toastmaster Raju. Now, I would like to just summarize of what I heard, and I did have high expectations from Toastmaster Yana. Having said that, the stage setting, that was really awesome. I really got engaged into it. Second thing was, I was really focusing when she said about who all are ready for the dinner tonight. So I was the one who raised my hand first. But then perhaps I noticed that focus part was just on the middle. I was expecting, Yana, can you move to that side, this side? I think that would have been better. That was the one thing which I would recommend to improve upon. And otherwise, all great. And I would like to wish good luck for all the evidence speakers for today. And one of the feedback also wanted, which I noticed, is that the non-verbal communication. It could be possible that we are holding the mic, especially for the icebreakers, that I couldn't find hand gestures very well. Maybe possibly the mic, which is very firm and attached to their hand, which we will recommend next time to wear wireless, sort of. That was one thing, and making use of the stage appropriately. And good luck, and we can now conclude this meeting. And I'm sure that this session, sorry, not the meeting. Okay, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Santosh, an excellent panel evaluation we had. But the main course is not yet over. Okay, we still have the top of cream, we have the hawk eye, and our vivacious general evaluator. I would like to invite Toastmaster Adil Kadri. Toastmaster Adil Kadri, welcome on board. So I asked him what he loves the most, and he messaged me just few minutes before the meeting, and he said that his wife told that as you are an insurance broker, is it? Yeah. And this is why he loves eating people's brains. Yeah. And in fact, he likes beta fry, that is brain fry. Yeah. Over to you.
Hi, good evening, Toastmasters. Good evening. How many of you love biryani? How many of you know how to cook biryani? What is an average time to cook a biryani?
45.
I am asked to cook a biryani in 10 minutes. Now, God bless you all, you have to eat it. Okay, getting straight on to the point and straight on to the meeting. The meeting started at 7:25 as per my watch. 7:20? No? 7:17. Okay, any which way. So we were late by almost 10 minutes.
2 minutes. We started 7:15.
Okay, then there is a problem with my watch. Okay, Saleh, you were good with the introduction, but then the energy was not as it was expected, and you straight away come to the point without creating any humor in the meeting room, and that was which I was expecting. The president started the meeting with a great smile. She involved the audience by asking questions. Of course, the story of the crow and the dove was a very, very old story, but simple, and she made it a point of getting into the meeting, which is, you can say, ice-breaking the meeting at the beginning. And the best thing, which I liked it, is that she has done the whole chronological manner, the way the Toastmasters has come in this world, and who are the presidents and who are the leadership, having what kind of a leadership role, and the Dubai Toastmaster, and that was amazing. I like that, and of course you are doing it on every meeting. And the best thing which I liked it about is that introducing the Toastmaster of the day by giving her a little nickname called as Sweet Lips Toastmaster Introduction. That was good. And now I'm also going to give you some kind of a nickname, and that is, you can say, okay, fair enough. So this was about the Toastmasters of the day. This was about the president of the club. Now comes to the Toastmasters of the day. She started the meeting with a theme which is close to every individual, and you can't survive in this world if you don't have a food. Okay, whether you follow Mr. Maher, who is hardly eating anything in a day, or you follow the foodie, our Toastmaster of the day, and but you need food. So that was great. You have started the meeting by creating a curiosity by asking questions and showing some pictures. And trust me, except biryani, there was no food dish which I could even make it out also. So that was good. Of course, what I would have loved to see from that is you could have breaked in or just showed one dish at that point of time, got into the meeting,
Then one day said the little litter on stage, then litter on stage. That would have created a lot of curiosity rather than just showing everything, all the 5 dishes at one shot and gone. So I would have loved to do that. I'm giving her a nickname of Master Chef of the Toastmaster, Dubai Toastmaster. Okay, so next time, okay, so this is what about the Toastmasters of the team. Coming to one-liners for all the Toastmasters who have done the speeches today, Mr. Umar, Toastmaster Umar Waqas, you are quite confident. However, I feel the lectern was not required.
What, sorry?
The lectern.
Toastmaster
Michael Dixon, I really like your subtle humor when you are introducing your family and the professional life. That was needed in a Toastmaster speech. Good work done. Pushkar, practice would have made you more comfortable. Would love to know more about your family. And the paper arrangement was just something which was not to the best. You could have done more practice. Shrikant Iyer, Toastmaster Shrikant Iyer, astrology and numerology. Let us speak after the Toastmasters meeting. We wanted to know more about your family and yourself rather than too much of an astrology and numerology. So that would have. Mr. Ali Zaidi, Toastmaster Ali Zaidi, I seriously like your confidence in the speech. Good work done. Toastmaster Muhammad Rashid, I like the PowerPoint presentation, but you know what? I wanted to see the names of that little mice, and that name was not so clear in the PowerPoint presentation. However, if I would have been you, I would have switched off the lights on the back and then did the presentation. Toastmaster Amitava, use of prop was great, but I would have loved to see the prop fly a little more. Toastmaster Jana Morton, quite natural. And I like the hand gestures, the facial expression and the voice modulation. Great job done. Now, coming to the panel evaluator. Toastmaster Santosh Nair, I liked your enthusiasm and the hyperactiveness as a speaker in you. Good job done. You are confident, and the way the maneuvering has been done, it was done very well. However, I would have suggested you, rather than you sitting in the middle of the chair, you should have been sitting on the right corner of that chair and start talking to people, because if you were sitting like this, you have been like, sometimes like this. I know there is a problem with the mic, but normally in such a scenario, I've been attending a lot of seminars and have been also into a lot of panel evaluation. You should have been in a corner, and 2 mic would have been more advisable thing for you. One which is moving around in the panel, and one is in your hand. Okay, that's one thing to be taken care of. Second thing is that most of the time I have seen you moderate, you've been evaluating the speaker. You are just a moderator, not the evaluator, if you can understand what I'm saying. Okay. Toastmaster George, initially I felt like you are reading from the paper, but from the next turn, I really like the way he got up from the chair and started showing actually that how the speaker has to speak rather than just sitting on the chair. Good job done. Toastmaster Rashmi Nair, you could have again displayed by giving some examples rather than just saying that your energy was not there, voice modulation was not there. Display that if you would have been there on that situation, how would you have done? Toastmaster Joyveer, I like the evaluation style, the choice of words. The analogy which you have used is as a cricketer of Mr. Krishnamachari Shrikant, and you have put your point across. You are quite composed, great eye contact with the audience. If you would have noticed, he was not only talking to just one the speaker, he was talking to the audience. And this is the way one has to really do the evaluation. Good job done. Raijo Paul, very crisp, very clear. However, and again, I like the pauses also. However, I felt that most of the time you were speaking to the moderator. You should have talked to everyone in the room. This was some general comments. Few things which I am missing or I have missed out in this meeting, and this was a note. This is a note to the president also and to the vice president education also, that we have been here to see the Toastmaster, the table topics has to be there. If I would be you, I would have rather cut down with 2 speakers and introduce just 3 table topic questions and introduced table topic master as well. Grammarian was not there. Word master of the day was not there. We could have added to that as well. Missed out on that. No, I understand. In fact, I have a suggestion for you that in the last 2 years back, I don't know whether few of the old members, Rashid will be agreeing to what I am saying. We were having a similar kind of a situation. So what we did is to give the chance to the speakers. We have started doing an interim meetings also. Where we understand that you are doing a great. I'm not saying that you have done wrong, but then the Toastmaster, the real sense in the way the Toastmaster is being done is like the speaker, table topic, and the evaluation one-on-one. Because that's what is going to help us out to take our club member to the next level, which is the competitions and all those things. So we are missing out on that. Not her fault, because, and give a big round of applause to her, because she has been taking care for all the speakers and getting a chance. Not an easy role, because we are here to give the opportunity to everyone to speak, and so many speakers. My God, horrible. So good job done. Okay, but few things which technical glitch, not acceptable. Lot of time I could see no input and check input signal kind of a thing. Up to the 4th speaker, there was a lights on the back and darkness on this side, which should be the reverse manner. The light, if we are not using the PowerPoint, the light should be here and the dark area should be on that side. So it was vice versa. Yeah, so that's it. And all in all, a marathon speech, a marathon meeting went very well. I liked it, and good job done. I hope you like the biryani.
Thank you, Toastmaster Adil. Now guys, this wraps up the main course, and now we are moving on to the dessert segment. So quickly, we have the remaining 5 dishes, and you know the drill. You need to recognize what dish is it, name, origin, and the main ingredients. So yes, what dish is this? No. Come on. Fast. Huh? No. Come on. No. Sorry. No. Come on. At least main ingredients. Come on. Huh? No. No. Come on. How come you guys don't know which place your Toastmasters are coming from? No. It is Vadalapan. It comes from Sri Lanka. Okay. And what it has? It is the custard dessert. It has coconut milk, eggs, jaggery. Okay. The next one. Yes. Come on. Now this is easy. Come on.
Egyptian dish.
Yeah, correct. Egyptian dish. Next. Yes. Koshery, yes. Okay. Yes, it's koshery. The main ingredients are rice, lentils, chickpeas, pasta. Everything is toppled with tomato sauce, cumin, and vinegar sauce. So, okay, next. Now, this. Fish, yes, it has fish, correct?
Fish is gasping for breath.
Yeah. The Toastmaster who contributed it is not here. Come on, now, what is it? Come on. Fish. Yeah, it is. Yeah, right. Right. What? There's another name. You're right. It's fish pie. Okay. From which country? Come on. Huh? No. Which country? At least. Yes, it is. So it is stargazing pie. It is how you say it, fish gazing at the stars. It's a Cornish dish. It comes from Cornwall, England. And what does it have? Made of baked pilchards that are sardines along with eggs, potatoes, and covered with pastry crust. The next, come on. Next, come on. The Toastmaster is present here in the meeting, so be mindful. Come on. From which place? Huh? Yeah, cheating. Yes, it's from Morocco. Yes. Correct. No, they didn't say couscous, they say something else. Yes, somebody's telling tagine, yes. So it is lemon chicken tagine, it is a Moroccan dish, and it is the flavors of Morocco with warm comforting chicken packed with lemon. So what is tagine? Is the pot which you see, and in that you cook this dish. The next is the last dish. Now this, nobody can guess the name. Nobody can guess the name. So at least please let me know what are the ingredients and from which country it comes from. Huh?
Pineapple.
Beef, yes, it has beef. No.
Pineapple.
No. Okay, at least country, come on.
Venezuela.
No. Okay, it comes from Czech. It comes from Czech. Okay, it's Skičkova kendlíka. Skičkova kendlíka. It's a Czech dish, and what does it have? It's soup, heavy cream with beef slice and bread dumplings. So the person who sent me was Toastmaster Yana, and she also messaged that she misses her home. So Toastmaster Yana, thanks for that emotional touch. So this completes our dessert segment. Out of all the dishes, I just had koshery, and I would look forward to have the other dishes for sure. Now, every story should have some emotional ending. So for me, I want to tell you that we are blessed and we should be thankful that we have food on our plates. There are still many who are suffering from hunger, and there are many people who are also dying, especially children. So let me give you the stats. So initially, how many tons of food do we consume? 5,000. Now let's see how much we waste. And this is the 1/3. Basically, we almost 2,500. So it's basically half of the ton of food we waste. So I want to tell all of you and advise that be sustainable when you have your food, have a sustainable wastage, and also please contribute to charity organization. And one charity organization I want to mention here, which is from a great leader, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the ruler of Dubai, and his campaign is 1 billion meal. So I would want all of you to please donate, and let's omit this poverty. And finally, I want to tell, cutting food wastage is a delicious way of saving money, help feed the world and protect the planet. And also, our tummy is like a bank account. So invest in good food or it will become a good investment. So now we have anchored back to the show. I hope you had a very delicious journey. And I want to once again thank Toastmasters. Thank you for your valuable contribution. I can only see a few of them, but I want to mention, starting with President Devi, Toastmaster. She contributed the dish, the bacalao brass. Then Toastmaster Yana, who contributed the Skičkova kendlíka. Toastmaster Nisreen contributed Tajeen, then Toastmaster Saleh contributed Magluba, Toastmaster Marwan contributed Koshri. I hope I'm not missing anyone. And the rest, unfortunately, are not there, but I want to mention them. Toastmaster Bob contributed the stargazing fish. Then Toastmaster, Toastmaster, I don't know who, I'm so sorry, I'm not able to guess who all, but yes, I think Misha, he contributed the borscht. So hopefully I've covered everyone. And now I hand over the stage to our lovely President, Toastmaster Dee.
And let's give a huge round of applause to our amazing TMOD Toastmaster Amina. What she should have done is got all these people to actually get the dishes today that have been added as spice to the meeting. Now moving on, everybody's taken my time of the closing, so let me quickly wrap up. So let's start with the awards. So we'll have 3 best speakers today. The second runner-up is, put your hands together for the one who took us to Afghanistan and Iraq and showed us life in a flash, Toastmaster Michael. Congratulations, Michael. Picture. Thank you. Congratulations, Michael. Well done. First runner-up, we have the Toastmaster who is in pursuit of happiness, Toastmaster Mitwa.
Mobile is off.
Thank you. And the winner today, the best speaker, none other than our Fufu Shushu Toastmaster Yana. It's becoming a habit. Every meeting she's taking the best speaker award. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm shocked, by the way. Thank you so much for voting.
Congratulations to all the speakers and well done to everyone. We have a first timer today, Toastmaster Darvish, who is doing the role of the timer for the first time, meticulously, very well he's done. Congratulations. And we have few announcements. One is we are going to have a team event, and we would send the Google Forms one of these days. So it would either be on a Friday or a Saturday or a weekday. If it is a weekday, it would be Monday. Just let me get a show of hands to gauge like which day is good for you all. How many of you all are good for a Monday to have a team event? Raise your hands.
Evening time? What time?
Evening. It would be in the evening. Team event would of course be maybe a dinner or a cruise. Now that today Amina has showed us cruise, a lot of people are asking about a cruise, so it could be probably a cruise or a dinner or some golf or whatever. Show of hands who are okay for Monday. Little higher. Okay. For Friday. Confused me all the more. Saturday. Confused me even more. Okay, we'll send the Google Forms on the chat and you all give your opinions. With that, with the power vested in me, I now declare this meeting closed. Good night. God bless. Next meeting is on 22nd May. Please be there. Toastmaster Adil, our general evaluator, will be the TMOD with his theme, real life humor. And we had already decided that we would be having 1 or 2 interim meetings in the next 2 months. So that also will be posted in the group. Good night. Take care.